This is it. We are rolling episode number 485, No Laugh Track podcast here at Acme Comedy Company in Minneapolis. I'm
Yay.
Justin Severson, the host, here with my 3-time guest,
Yeah.
Adam Ray. It's a hat trick. Did we call that? Call it the hat trick.
I love the hat trick. There was a hat trick of men. And let me finish.
And cut.
No. At my circumcision, that all tasted the skin. Good night, everybody. No, they, which, by the way, somebody told me not too long ago that that there's something about, like, the skin being used in, like, that you could, the same way, remember there was, like, Japanese rice cakes or rice paper, right, that you could eat?
Yes.
I remember first trying that when my dad, the first Japanese family I think I probably ever met, he was a doctor, and he was friends with this other doctor, I think Dr. Yamamoto. Yep. This is going to come off racist, but that feels right. It was something, and
that's
Shiro,
the name.
Shiro something, or...
That's the name from Die Hard. That's the building of Die Hard.
Yamamoto?
It's something like that.
Anytime I want to go Yamamoto or Yamashiro, which is a restaurant in L.A., I'll put up their Instagram handle, or Yakisoba, or I immediately think of Oroku Saki and Hamato Yoshi, which, in no particular order, are Shredder's original name and his fucking next man in command, his name as well.
From the Ninja Turtles?
And welcome back to, hey, do these guys get pussy? But yeah, I love the Ninja Turtles, and I remember actively, taking interest in all the names of the characters, even their origin names before they were Shredder and the other guy.
You were saying the three guys that were...
So the three guys were in the front, and I called them the hat trick, and then one of them said, like, that's a good nickname for our group, and then that spawned just a conversation about the nicknames for groups of fellas, which I think, there's, if you go through the history books, I mean, what do we got? The Hardy Boys, right? The
Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers, the Gotti Boys, right?
Yeah.
Three Musketeers is probably the most recognizable
Mm-hmm.
trio. I mean, this isn't really the Mighty Ducks. That's not really a gang. But if you're talking about a collection of boys,
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Wow. Scratch the first options and open and close with that. Maybe the best well, now we're talking trios. Best trios of all time. Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Three Musketeers, and the Three Stooges. Mary, fuck, kill. I'd probably fuck the Stooges.
Okay.
Just because they'd have some weird tricks up their sleeves to, like, poke you in the eyes before they went down on you. And then Huey, Dewey, and Louie, I'd marry because they just seem like fun. They're all every day's an adventure. And then kill the Three Musketeers because not a big fan of the candy or your wardrobe.
It might be a good fight.
It'd be well, yeah. And see, knowing that if I had to kill them, they couldn't fight back because I don't know how you defend yourself against a sword. And I like to hit the W when I say sword.
I like it.
Because, hey, man, it's not there for show. Use it. Sound it out.
That's right. Do you
anyway.
like professional wrestling?
Oh, God. All right.
Do you emphasize the T in wrestling?
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Speaking of that, we need to go back to the last time you were here.
Yeah.
Which was July of 2020, sir. It was a whole different world.
Wow.
Yeah. July was the end of July 2020.
The consistency of you in this podcast is delightful. And it's probably the only one that I just don't bat an eye at. And I'm like, yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So last time we did this, at the very end, we hit up probably your biggest thing, the most exciting thing you told me about. You played a bit of a voice message from The Rock.
Oh, did I?
And you
on
were
the
like,
show? Oh, God,
yes.
What a douchebag.
No.
I don't know, but I probably was living in a state of mind where I was like, this could be the coolest thing that ever happens to me, so I want to share it and scream it from the rooftops.
Yeah, and you were like, are we friends? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know him.
Yeah.
And then that turned into something super fucking cool.
Yeah. Now I'm playing Vince McMahon on Young Rock, Season 3, out on NBC, Friday nights. Yeah, now we are bona fide pals, so that's great. And have exchanged many messages. And even when I text him dumb shit drunk, he still responds. So that's the true test. But, yeah, show's been a blast. First time Vince has been portrayed on TV. So, some pressure with that. But
How close were you to getting that job in July of 2020? That you were, I mean, you had, I think you mentioned on the podcast that you had auditioned.
Oh yeah. So then he called. So then I went to, wow. That shortly after that, I'd auditioned for it, and then I hit him up on Instagram and said, I don't know if this came from you, because we had just started exchanging messages. Actually, I don't think that was from Instagram.
Yes.
That's right. So I had tagged him in a post about Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candles and was like, really just being like, I need to start posting more content because we're shut down, and I just need to control what I can control and be a little more active on social media. So even with the picture of the vagina candles selling out in 20 minutes, I was like, let me just make a joke here, and who's the male equivalent that could sell ball-scented candles was going to be the whole angle. And like, not, Chris Martin, her husband. I'm trying to think of like the most manliest dude. And not that Chris Martin's not, manly, but, his T-shirt collection's a little different than The Rock's. And I'm just thinking of, like, the brawniest fucking dude that would sell, like, a scented, like, you think of the most petite, pristine woman. Paltrow definitely probably fits the bill.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the ball, I just was thinking aggro dude. And so I tagged The Rock. And I never really tag the actual person because I don't know. I'm not thinking in terms of, like, maybe they'll comment.
Right.
So I did for whatever reason. And then I start getting all these DMs. How do you know The Rock? And I'm like, everybody knows The Rock. What are you referring to? And then my buddy was like, holy shit, I can't believe you responded. And I look at it, and he was like, brother, I've been trying to get these going, but I keep burning my dick on the wax or whatever, and keep up the good work. And I was like, what the fuck? So then he followed me, and my then fiance, now wife's like, hey, like, what the fuck? Like, and I was like, I got to ask him to do the podcast. Definitely just blew my load too early and shot him a DM. Seen, but no response. Now I'm just in this fucking spiral of like, fuck, shouldn't have reached out. And then months go by, and then he sent me those messages on Instagram being like, sorry, I never checked these. It was like a 5-minute voice note being like, enjoy your stuff and blah, blah, blah. And we'll toast a glass of Terramana, his tequila, when things get back to normal. And so then I got the audition and was like, shot him a message being like, I don't know if this is from you, which it wasn't. It was just, my agent being on top of his shit, being like, you're right for this. Like,
oh, okay. Okay.
And so then I shot him a message with my number and said, when things resume, like, this is easier than the DM, since you don't check it, hit me up and we'll get some drinks. And again, seen no response. So then I went to my buddy Jaleel White and I, who Jaleel played Urkel on Family Matters, and we both know he knows Chappelle. I know Chappelle's tour manager well, and so Chappelle had his camp in Ohio, and Jaleel hit me up and was like, yo, we should go out to this. And I was like, I'll hit up our boy. So we hit him up. We went out for a weekend. It was an amazing weekend. Louis was there, and John Mayer, and Tiffany Haddish, and Common, and Sarah Silverman, and it was awesome. And on one of the nights after one of the shows, we're in a van, Jaleel, myself, a few other people, going over to this little mini shack area, they called it, which was basically where the after party was. And we were there till 4 or 5 in the morning. And I get a text that says, hey, it's Dwayne, in parentheses, The Rock. Let me know when you can get on the horn and chat. And at this point, I'd gone on a few podcasts and other things, and I just was now jokingly creating this narrative of, like, The Rock's ghosting me. Because I'm just like, there's no way. It just didn't feel like it was even plausible to strike up any real relationship. He was kind enough to respond once, but I'm like, the guy's got a million things going on.
Yeah.
No real relationship is going to blossom. And then, so I kind of fucking thought it was a buddy fucking with me and didn't respond. And then I get a missed call and a voicemail the next morning from him being like, I actually think I saved it. Maybe I can play part of it. Did I save it? Yeah, here it is. Oh, the drama.
Tick, tick, tick.
Fuck, it's not playing.
Oh, we are in a dungeon here.
Is it maybe that's why no service?
It's possible.
Now everyone's like, you don't have it. But it was basically like, hey man, you said you could blah blah blah, like or call me back. And I was like, fuck. So I called him back, he didn't pick up, and now I'm like, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
He literally called me the next day, and I'm taking a poo, and I pick it up, and it said unknown, and I just pick it up, and I was like, oh my God. And he just goes, give me your best Vince McMahon impression. And I go, you're fired. While I'm pooing, like, so that was just a conflict of interest.
Oh my God.
And then he goes, congrats, brother, you got the job. And then I started crying. No. Then I started, then I was like, holy shit. And then we talked for almost 2 hours about everything, being raised by single moms and wrestling and sports and comedy and crowd work. And, man, I felt like I'd known him my whole life. And
but the whole time you're distracted, like, I need to get off this toilet.
1,000%. I was like, dude, if you don't mind, I can't feel my legs. I did make a joke to that, and he was dying laughing. He goes, get the fuck out of here. I was like, dude, this whole time I've been sitting fucking half naked on the pot. I was like, if you want me to do the Vince walk at any point in the season, you're going to probably have to, get some prosthetics because I am numb from the knees below.
We're going to amputate.
Yeah. So then, went back, and then it was awesome. And now here we are. And literally just today they posted that Vince is back in as on the board of the WWE.
Oh, wow, yeah.
WWF, yeah.
He got in some, I don't even remember what the trouble was. I don't even know.
Some lawsuits, some paying off some gals.
Oh,
which,
that's
by the way,
right.
all sounded consensual. That's what stood out to me. I was like, all right, he affairs, no bueno. But no domestic abuse, no rapey shit. Like, just, you were unfaithful, and then you paid people. But none of the women were like, he did weird fucking creepy shit. He chased me out of the room with his dick. He always ordered the same thing from the Cheesecake Factory, and then made me say it while I had a mouthful of there was nothing. There was nothing weird.
We don't know about his kink.
We don't know about his kink. Vince's kinks, yeah. But anyway, so he's back in the fold now, which is kind of cool. So we'll see.
Oh, that's cool breaking news. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Where do you go? Where do you go to film that show?
So the first few seasons were in Australia.
Why?
Because when COVID hit and shut down, nothing. They didn't know when the business was going to resume, and NBC was like, "Well, Australia's done a pretty nice job of keeping things under control."
So that's
because
why
they had decent leadership and what are you talking about? I handled it beautifully. Okay, first of all, it wasn't even real. Okay, Dr. Fauci, if that's your real name, too many C's. It was open for biz. We had to quarantine for 2 weeks. That sucked.
Okay.
And then we shot the first season. I was only in a few episodes, but I was down there for almost 8 weeks. So I just kind of met some local comics, some that were fans and took care of me, and some that I just got to know down there, and really cool scene, and really great people. And I just did shows and
You did.
partied every night.
Awesome.
Aside from the 2 days, because the first day I shot, and then I had like 3.5 weeks before my next day of shooting. So I just was like, well, I'm going to fucking live it up. And went to sanctuaries and held koalas and did not get, what is it?
Chlamydia.
Chlamydia.
Yeah, from
I'll tell you, one of my buddies too, when I went down there, he's like, careful, dude, don't fuck a koala, you'll get chlamydia. I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't even. Like,
that's why you don't.
That's why you don't fuck it, I guess, right? Yeah, exactly. I love that was his, as if already fucking the koala wasn't off the table.
Right.
Don't do it because of XYZ, which is all that, XYZ, STD, WNBA, AT&T. And so I definitely didn't get it, but held a koala. They're so cute. They're so old and, like, stoned. And
That's
she's
funny.
like, they just chill, they sleep, they fuck, and they eat eucalyptus and they get high. It's like, what a great existence. Anyway, shot the first 2 seasons there. We went back last year, and then this season is in Memphis.
Oh, okay.
So I'll go back there to do the last episode next week. And
Oh, wow.
nice to be stateside so that I could still do gigs and other shows if they come about. And like I'm shooting a couple episodes of this Rob Lowe Fox show next week right before called 911 Lone Star.
Yeah.
And by the way, Rob Lowe. Just give it up for Rob Lowe. Thanks, Pete.
Youngblood.
I mean, doesn't age. Certain people, I think Hollywood just like, if he goes off the air, it's almost like if the bus slows down under 50, whatever speeds,
Right.
whatever it was in the
Right,
movie. If Lowe isn't on TV, like if he's off TV for longer than like a month, I think the business folds or God gets up. Something happens, right? More Harvey Weinstein's show up, like something. There's got to be some sort of an equation where it's like if Lowe's off air, then
I think you're right.
then global warming
Yeah.
ramps up. I don't know. I don't know what the math is on.
There will never not be a Rob Lowe television show
fine with
in
that.
production.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I am too.
so good.
So funny.
Good.
Remember
So-
when he got when maybe it was when that show came out and the Fox was at a football game and they showed, or was it the World Series, and they showed him sitting in the stands.
Yeah.
And he just had like the most generic freaking. It said like NFL.
Yeah.
Yes. People were like,
So-
"Oh, you big fan."
I know. I would have no shame if I got to Lowe status to just like be like, yo, Snapple, do you want me to wear a hat at the fucking World Series?
Right?
$100,000.
Yeah.
Oh, to wear a hat, I got no problem.
Yeah.
I got no problem. Snapple hasn't been accused of any sort of Subway, like your tuna's not tuna type shit, right?
Right. As far as I know.
Like no one's like, dude, it's not real kiwis in Snapple, kiwi strawberry. Well, no fucking shit, Eli. It's artificial fruit, but you drink it. But there's no real reports about. I don't know. There probably are. No one does a deep dive on Snapple's nutritional, outcomes.
Those little facts on the bottom, on the other flip side of the lid.
Yeah.
They've ripped all those off. Not an original one.
Yeah.
That's their
They're
controversy.
probably all open mic comic jokes.
That's right.
They do what SNL used to get accused of, ripping off
Exactly.
sketches online that didn't have a ton of views.
That's right. We steal the ones no one's seen.
That's amazing. Some open micer does a documentary about trying to take down Snapple. They've used all of my bits from 2002 to 2003. You're like, all right.
I saw you did New Year's Eve in Vegas.
Yep.
How was that?
Great. I always do the Tropicana out there, Laugh Factory. Shout out to Harry Basil. Great club. Shows are awesome. What's up, dude? Shows are always awesome. Vegas gets an eclectic, group that comes in. And
Do Adam Ray fans show up on New Year's Eve in Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Quite
It's
a
not
few,
ju- yeah?
quite a few, actually. And
That's awesome.
yeah, it is cool. There's now certain places. Obviously, you're trying to, grow your audience
Of
and
course.
following every year. And actually, a buddy of mine, Sam, who comes to the show every time I'm here, and his friend Paul, I'm gonna give him a shout out, but also a fucking dig. Goes, he goes, this is my third time seeing you here. He goes, when do you think you'll play bigger venues? And I go, yeah, I don't appreciate your tone, Paul, but I do pick up on what you're putting down, which is how do you get out of the comedy club into the theater game? And I go, well, when you're coming through, I go, the real answer, and you start to, if your shows are selling out before you get there, it's probably a strong indication that maybe it is time to upgrade. And we're just not there yet. But certain cities like Vegas or Seattle or a San Diego, maybe a Denver, where I've been enough, and then also just where you go, oh, cool, there's people that are following the journey a little bit closer. But Vegas it's cool. We were there for Thursday till left on Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Probably a couple days too long.
Yeah. You stuck around, huh?
Yeah, it was cheaper to go back on Tuesday than it was on Monday.
Sure.
And significantly. And we both, my wife and I needed to do some work and can work from anywhere. And so it's fine. And
Do you have time to tie one on after your shows on New Year's Eve? Or do you
we did. We drank and did a lot of karaoke. And
You do karaoke?
love it.
Really?
I was just talking about last night to this kid in the front row who looked like I said he had long hair and he just looked like a rock star of some sorts. But then I kept telling him, I go, you look like Edwin McCain. And he
Oh,
goes,
my
who's
God.
that? And I go, these are the moments I thank God that I'm alive. These are the moments I remember all my life. I got all I'm waiting for, and I could not ask for more. I could not ask for more. And he was like, dude, I don't know who the fuck that is. Stop singing so close to me. And then I threw a couple other things at him, and I said how I like to sing Daughtry karaoke every now and then because I like to see MILFs smile.
Oh, of course.
Daughtry's got another, sultry, just, I'm coming home. And then I did this, act out of a MILF going, oh. And I was like, so I don't know what that was. I've never tried to impersonate a MILF before, but I feel like she's exuding a lot of joy at the sight of anyone trying to, portray Daughtry. I'll do some Lionel. I'll do some... Shania. I like Alanis Morissette. Anything 90s.
Yeah, really?
And then every now and then I'll dig deep for a Bohemian Rhapsody. You gotta you can't be up there trying to sing something really well. We
Completely agree.
We did karaoke in the lobby of the Tropicana the first night, and there was the guy who is the Prince lookalike for the show, and he went down and he was holding a glass of wine and he was dressed like Prince, and I was like, dude, it's after hours. He reminded me of the guys when I played Wolverine at Universal Studios. There was a guy that played Spider-Man and would show up on his off days in Spider-Man apparel, and I was like, Greg, you drive a Jetta, you ain't the guy. You ain't the guy. You see fucking Mike, who plays Captain America, he has a bumper sticker on the back of his Escalade that says, nobody's ugly after 2 a.m. That's not Captain America's catchphrase. We are all not the guys.
Don't be saying that to me, Wolverine. I'm Adam. I'm Adam, not Wolverine.
Funny, I know. I mean, these were all my first jokes about that world, because like day 2, you know, I mean, I was like third string Wolverine. Jay Moore, when I first met him and went on his podcast, and he now refers to me as third string Wolverine because I told him that I was third string, and he fucking was crying laughing at just the idea of that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, he's like, what does that mean? It's like, well, I'm fucking third on the call sheet. Like, but there's a guy named Mark Miller who was like, wrote a fucking leather jacket, motorcycle. And by the way, some people are like, dude, you're giving out the real names of a lot of people. Yeah, dude, that's how I roll. Like, look them up. Fucking fact check.
You do that.
I do, and I ain't
That's
trying
so
to
fun.
fucking pussyfoot.
You do.
Kaylin Peck, Lake Forest Park Elementary, Shoreline, Washington. First hits I ever saw. We were at Camp Arkyla, and a bumblebee flew up her shirt, which some people would argue, were you guys in cahoots with the bumblebee? Because he got out that shirt pretty quick, and she, in one motion, was like, no! And we were all like, jackpot. Granted, the titties were a little, you know, they're not what everybody probably wanted as their first glance at boobs live in the flesh, but nevertheless, for the 6th grade to have anything going on, impressive. So that bee flies away being like, you're welcome. Right? and hold on to that image as long as you can.
I know you will.
I know you visited, yeah. And so anyway, so I remember, you know, we'd go 35 on, 25 off in the Wolverine, all the Marvel character shifts. And so Mark's walking off, I'm walking on. And I'm just standing back there waiting to walk onto set into the park.
Yeah.
And he goes, what are you doing? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, you're not getting into character? I go, oh, yeah, this is pretty much it. I just tell myself that I'm Wolverine, and I walk out to the fucking park. What do you do? And he's like, and he starts doing this whole thing. I was like,
No.
dude, I can't talk to you right now.
No.
I can't be a part of what it is you're doing. But it's why the kids would be like, what's Wolverine's this is one of my first jokes. What's Wolverine's favorite food? And I was like, potato salad. Fuck off. You know, like you can see these sideburns peeling off, kid. If you think I'm the real guy, you got bigger issues. But it was a cool job. But
my God.
But there was a point to all that.
Oh,
What was the question?
who knows? Who knows?
Oh, there was a question in there. I wanted to get to. That's my problem. I go on tangents.
No, so what? It's great. Look how many laughs we just got out of that.
All right.
If maybe it'll come back to us. If we don't, I brought something that I've never done this before. We're gonna see how this goes. Would you mind doing a little reading? You got
No.
your glasses on. So I don't remember how I stumbled upon this, and I did a ton of editing. And this is long. We probably won't even get through it all. You could just kind of hop around.
Oh, great.
But what this is, maybe you've seen this. You probably have. It is. This has to be an AI created biography for you,
Oh,
Adam
God.
Ray. Have you ever seen this?
No.
Awesome. Okay, look at it's front and back. I
God.
edited the shit out of this. It's way longer.
AI, so meaning that the computer just
You'll-
went through Google or Wiki or my mom's diary or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I have 2 copies of this. I'm going to give you one. I will let you know that I don't actually. It had like a full name here for you,
Yeah,
and
you
I
can say
kind of
that.
I cut it most of or all of them out just to try to keep it shorter.
Cut out
Or
my
I,
middle name because it'll take up so much time.
no, not middle name. It had anyway. You'll see.
Oh, it had
here.
what? It had other.
It had a last name. Not Ray.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What? That's my last name.
It is.
1000%.
Well, then who? I'll just say it.
Did you pull up a different? There's another Adam Ray out there.
No.
Bro, that is constantly being.
No, but
asked
this is
about.
AI. So
Adam Ray is the full name. It's my dad's real last name because I guess it does flow okay. So people are like, stage name, huh? I'm like, no, real name.
I never questioned it until I saw this. But this is definitely, if not 100%, 90% of this is based on you. I can tell you
Yeah.
that. All right. So
what
there
would
you go.
Ray be cut down from or changed to? I mean, I guess who knows? My mom wanted to name me, fun fact, Rachel, when they couldn't see my wiener on the sonogram. So imagine if I came out, first of all, surprise, right? Fully hard, out of the womb. Everyone's like, dude, it's not a good sign that you came out of your mom hard. What was going on? What'd you see in there?
What were they showing?
We'll edit this out. But if I was Rachel Ray and a girl to live in her shadows, can you imagine? But then also, now, do you think that I have the chutzpah to go on TV, even though if I had like a girly voice? Because, Rachel's a little more. She's definitely a little more raspy, man. She's got a little Whoopi Goldberg going on. A little raspy, manly, and if she was like, people have linguine, 17 minutes. We're doing it in 12. Mark it. Clip it. We're doing it in 12. What if I got on TV and was like, we're doing it in 6. Linguine in 6. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Berman style. No, Chris Berman, and who was the other one that has the bloopers?
I just
Hardball. No.
yes, I just sent it to Brandon.
Great
Bill
clip. Bill O'Reilly. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yes.
Unreal, dude. All right, Adam Ray. Adam wedded his better half Amanda on October 9, 2022. True. They dated for half 10 years prior to the wedding. Yeah. So meaning like 5. Yeah. About true.
Oh yeah, AI calls that half 10 years.
Adam is. They dated for half 10 years prior to wedding. Adam is a rising virtual entertainment sensation. I mean, fucking welcome to my new bio. YouTuber, business visionary, and hopeful entertainer from the U.S. They should probably also add in here, spent too much of his money on trying to help his family, will not see any of that back.
Okay.
He acquired tremendous reputation from his YouTube comedic video transfers and unscripted TV appearances. Amazing. Unscripted. I did go on Blind Date twice in college as a joke, but I don't think that's where I got any sort of critical acclaim. As well as showing up as a visitor on the Simonetta In show. Yeah, I did go. There's a girl, she has a huge YouTube, Instagram live show where she interviews celebrities. It was a little chaotic. I don't want to say too much more, but I couldn't believe how popular it was. Has dealt with few movies and television programs. What's more, he has a digital broadcast called About the Previous Evening. Fucking hilarious. It's actually About Last Night is the name of my podcast. Check it out. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Add on Sandra Bullock, Bill Burr, Melissa McCarthy, Susan Sarandon, Jason Derulo. About the Previous Evening should be the real title.
Come on.
And a sizable following via online entertainment. Adam has had areas of strength for an ethic and strong fascination with the diversion business since early on. In any case, Adam battled with frailty since he was overweight when he was more youthful. Thanks for bringing it up, AI. Be that as it may, he never surrenders, and in this way chooses to seek after a calling in a similar industry. The entertainer started by performing stand-up satire in his old neighborhood prior to continuing on towards clubs in urban areas around the country. In the comedic television series Human Monster, Human Giant.
Right.
In 2007, Adam made his acting presentation in a minor job as Tom Cruise. But by the way, Tom Voyage, great porn name, great detective name, great fucking name for a guy who wants to rob a Jamba Juice.
Tom Voyage.
In 2011, he was given a role as Head Kramer, the primary person in the television series Appleseed Rudimentary. He was actually the principal in a YouTube web series called Appleseed Elementary, which sent off his acting vocation. 2016, he co-starred close by Michael Barbuto and Mercedes in the featuring job of Denny. That was fun. Adam wedded his drawn-out sweetheart, Jesus Christ, Amanda on October 29th, 2022.
Drawn-out sweetheart.
After their most memorable gathering, 2 or 3 has a decent association, is indistinguishable, and begins dating. In spite of Adam's bustling timetable, he generally makes himself open to his woman.
What the fuck does that mean? Read that again.
After their most memorable gathering, the wedding, I guess, 2 or 3 has a decent association, is indistinguishable, and begins dating. In spite of Adam's bustling timetable, he generally makes himself open to his woman. Does that mean, like, I never want to fuck?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
Making himself open to
pretty
his
healthy
woman.
sex life. I mean, I guess it could be more. After their most memorable, following 3 years of the relationship, Adam proposes to Amanda for marriage with a wonderful ring and a charming climate, and Adam shocks her and makes her second one of the remarkable collections of her life. First and foremost, Amanda was so all right, whatever.
Yeah.
A couple letters about. All right, enough about the wedding. Is that it? Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
On October 29th, the couple at last shared promises welcoming a predetermined number of visitors. The couple hasn't arranged about their youngsters yet. The couple appears to be private and has not imparted their own data to outcasts and the media.
The outcasts in the media.
Holy shit.
The top one here is Adam brings in cash in more than one way. Doug Turnoff, American Father, Archibald's next big thing is here, and Stay at Home are portion of the entertainer's latest ventures. American Father instead of American Dad.
Oh my God.
Perfect.
Doug Unplugs. They called it Doug Turnoff.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it was an Apple TV animated show. All right, some key points here we don't want to forget. Adam is a rising virtual entertainment sensation. He had a minor job as Tom Voyage. Voyage or Voyage?
I mean, I would read it as Voyage, but Voyage.
Because my dad was a cardiovascular surgeon in Seattle when I was a kid, and he had a doctor that was, his counterpart named Dr. Savage. I always thought that was a cool-ass doctor name. My dad's Dr. Ray. Dr. Savage. But I would always call him Dr. Savage.
Right.
And he would be like, it's Savage, you fat fuck.
I used to work with a guy. His last name is spelled Anger.
Anger. Anger.
Anger.
Anger.
I was like, dude, your last name is Anger.
Yeah.
Own up to it. It's awesome. Anger. Anger.
Yeah. Lean into it.
Yeah, lean into it.
Of course, there's Nick Lachey that people commonly will
oh, that's true.
Misconstrue.
Let's go to the last line here. The entertainer has a dressing line with his name on it. He offers caps, beanies, men's tanks, shirts, hoodies, and joggers available to be purchased on the web. All items, I like this, all items are presented at somewhat reasonable expenses, which range from $10 to $40.
Dear God. AI. This is why you guys ain't going to make it. This is why we never have to be concerned about iRobot.
Yeah, no.
Although
a computer's not going to take over writing your jokes. No.
God, can you, I
don't think it's going to happen.
There was a time when, I don't know, wasn't there a video recently posted, I feel like Rogan posted it, where it was a robot that was like moving around, but then it was like, they were like, it can now feel feelings. That was scary.
Yeah.
I don't want any part of that.
No.
Even when the Roomba came along, the little vacuum thing,
of course.
I was like, what are we doing? Stop trying to make life easier by progressing the robot community's confidence in we're accepting of their existence. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And this is coming from a visionary entertainment sensation. Virtual entertainment.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. We got a Roomba as a gift, a wedding gift years ago, and
felt like a good gift.
Yeah, and I wasn't comfortable using it too much because I was like, I gotta move all this shit out of the way around the house. Like, it needs an open path.
Don't you feel like you're constantly judging it? And if it misses one spot, I'm like, turn it off.
Yeah. However,
get the fuck out.
When it
do your job, robot bitch.
When it got to the top of the when it hit the top of the staircase and didn't go over the edge, I was like, okay, that's impressive.
Oh yeah, okay. Well,
That's
see, that's what
impressive.
that's how it sucks you back in.
Yeah.
That's how it gains your trust. It's like, I could sense that would be the end of my life. And although jumping off this flight of stairs seems like the right move considering the current state of the nation and how divided we are, you're like, all right, you do make some good points. Wait a second, you're talking.
By the way, your wife is getting lippy. Do you need any advice?
Yeah. You guys shared a wonderful ring in a charming climate. And you shocked her with one of the most remarkable recollections of her life.
What is your wife going to think of that? Are you going to show that to her?
Yeah, she just called me. I should have picked up and read a few. Yeah, she'll
Will she be
find
freaked
this.
out?
No, she'll think it's funny.
Okay, good.
She's very funny.
Good.
I was just
good.
telling a buddy the other day, just bragging about her and how, I've dated girls that found me funny, which was great. That had great senses of humor. We were on board sensibility wise, and I didn't need them to be funny, and I also didn't need to be the only one. I didn't care about needed to be but she just naturally is very funny and makes me laugh. And then she ended up telling me the last few years that she wanted to be a comedian when she was younger, but she doesn't try to be. But I told her the other day, which she thought was a sweet compliment, that the first option that she says, the timing is great, and the first option that she thinks of is what she always goes with. I never, for me, I feel like I see Minority Report style, 3 or 4 things. When I'm doing crowd work on stage, I just see a bunch of options and I fucking grab one, and I for whatever reason can slow it down almost, and have gotten comfortable in a place to where I can, take my time and still not missing the right moment to, in any sort of whether it's a joke or crowd work, you got a split second to say the right or wrong thing.
Right.
And if you miss it, it's fucking moment's over, which is why this is such a crazy art form. But we were making out on the bed, and
hit the
things
lights.
were probably heading towards, one of the few times based on this breakdown that we fuck. And she goes, and then I had put on, I think I was having some back issues the last month or so, and I had a Tiger Balm patch on. And I kind of rolled over, and I go, oh shit, babe, give me a second. My Tiger Balm patch stuck to the pillow, and she goes, oh, talk dirty to me, babe. And it was very funny, and it was a very funny thing to say, and it made me laugh, and it didn't halt any forward progress, but it was also, I like that she does that.
Hell yeah,
yeah,
hell yeah, and that it didn't ruin things.
Didn't ruin things. Yeah. If anything, it just made me want to buy more Tiger Balm patches. The smell, though, it's a little too, it's aggressive. They don't, it's like. If you went to Wonka's factory and he was like, lick the wall. The snozberries taste like snozberries. The Tiger Balm patches taste like Tiger Balm patches. You'd be like, dude, is it cool if we get a refund and go hang out at Charlie's bar that he opened down the street? Because I feel like that kid always had a side business. I feel like he had more money. I feel like truly, and this is just based on one night when I watched it on Edibles, I was like, Charlie has side businesses. He has money in the bank, but his grandparents never really did much for him except for Grandpa Joe. And so he's like, I don't owe you shit. He could buy them all new beds, new shoes, new gowns, bedpans, so that his mom's like, I made hot water for dinner again, Charlie. And he's like, bitch, I've got 6 hoagies in the back fridge. And yeah, I've got a back fridge in a different place 10 miles away. You know how it takes me 80 minutes to run to school every morning? I'm going to my second house. To feed my second family. I'm 50. But I've got Andy Milonakis disease.
Have you pitched this to somebody as a sequel?
I pitched it to the fucking AI, but they were like, we do not understand your...
Oh, my God. Adam, we got to wrap this up because we've hit that time. This has been so much fun, as always. Last time I said we'll see you again in a year, and it didn't happen. It's been 2.5, so hopefully you get back here quicker.
I love it.
We can do this again.
Hopefully, I love this club. It's only one of the few places that I truly look forward to coming back to. I mean, but every comic says that about this room because it is a treat. And thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. I can't emphasize enough. If you're listening to this and there's still shows, Adam's still in town, come to the shows. The crowd, the material's great. The crowd work is one of the best.
Some
one of the
fun
best
stuff so far, yeah.
One of the absolute best.
Thanks, brother.
The playing with the crowd. Thank you.
Good to see you.